Hey guys, welcome to my channel Elite Wrestling World. My name is GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here on AEW Dynamite post-show review. Dynamite was excellent tonight. We are building towards Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which is going to be a fantastic event. We start off with MJF vs. RUSH commercial-free. Trading forearms, off the ropes, Friedman has the drop-down scouted and he does a Fargo strut before turning around into a huge overhand chop. MJF charges it up and just pokes the eye. MJF bleeding from the nose as RUSH goes and grabs a chair and forces referee Paul Turner to warn him off. Spine buster into mounted punches, bouncing RUSH's face off the turnbuckles, mounted punches and MJF bites his face. MJF wins by pinfall with a sheer drop brainbuster. Post-match, Hechicero and Cage of Agony appear on the Tron. Brian Cage tells MJF that he's got Hechicero at Forbidden Door. Next up is the face-off between Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. Will Ospreay makes his entrance and Swerve Strickland makes his entrance and joins him. Ospreay says the last time they were in the ring together he snatched that belt and held it on his shoulder, and Swerve said he the man, after all, who held 3 different titles on 3 different continents at the same time. And Shane will find out he's the best wrestler in the world today. Swerve says Will holds titles in multiple promotions. Will says he doesn't need Don or his family. He talks about the summer of Ospreay last year, Kenny Omega to Okada to Shingo Takagi to Chris Jericho, and he hasn't missed one man on his hit list. This is Swerve's first main event as champion, and what if his kill shot is just 1 centimeter off? Shane says this might be his first main event as champion. What if he breaks Ospreay's leg? Who is he then? He's still Swerve Strickland, the entertainer, the actor, the podcaster, and Will doesn't understand the sacrifices he's going to have to make to get where he is. Up to sacrificing his son, and he doesn't think he's ready. Will grabs his arm and tells him not to mention his son and not to make this person. Prince Nana grabs the mic and tells them to save that emotion and that fire for Forbidden Door. Shane tells Will to go home and send his regards to his wife and son. This gets Ospreay right back in the ring, forehead-to-forehead jawing. Backstage, Trent Barreto is fired up about Will disrespecting Don and the family, but Don Callis calms him down while Fletcher looks disgruntled in the background, and we go to break. Next up is All-Star 8-man tag match, 4 for Chaos early. Zack Sabre back body drops Cassidy to the apron, catches a shoulder block into the octopus in the ropes. Sabre working Cassidy's arm, dropkick from Cassidy on Fletcher, Dante Martin, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy win by pinfall with an orange punch from Cassidy on Zack Sabre. Post-match, Jack Perry lays Dante Martin out on the stage and Mark Briscoe chases after him. Orange and Zack Sabre square up. Don Callis rolls up on RUSH and says something in broken Spanish that leads El Toro Blanco to hit the wall and fume. Next up is the Acclaimed vs. Young Bucks. During entrances for the next match, Max Caster's mic gets cut and we see Okada and Gorilla pressing buttons. He mock cries and apologizes before calling Caster a very good tag team match between the 2 teams. Young Bucks used illegal tactics, but the Acclaimed was 1 step ahead always. The Acclaimed win by pinfall with a lateral press, earning AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Samoa Joe gives Hook a pep talk as they prepare to confront the Learning Tree. They bust into their locker room and find nobody there, just a note from Jericho challenging them to a trios match on Collision. Joe asks the camera if he's in, and Shibata's robot voice says he's gonna smash those. Mariah May presides over the contract signing for the AEW Women's World Championship match at Forbidden Door. She introduces Mina and Toni Storm before saying she hopes the best woman wins, but she wants them to know that she loves them both. Mina takes the mic and tells her to shut up. She tells Toni Storm that she's a legend in stardom and in AEW she became a star. Everybody says we want Mina and nobody wants Toni anymore. At Forbidden Door she's gonna take her title and her girl, and Mina signs the contract. Storm says she has some advice: chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. Toni proceeds to sign the contract and it's official. Mariah says it's official and Mina tells her she has to choose. Saraya brought NJ with her to attack Mariah May on the floor. They lay Toni and Mina out, but Storm recovers and attacks them with the shoe. A bracket reveal for both the men's and women's Owen Cups follows. Kris Statlander vs. Nyla Rose Women's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinals. A quick match, Kris Statlander wins by pinfall with a tombstone piledriver. Post-match, Stokely gets on the mic and calls Willow out and tells her that if she lays hands on either of them she'd be pop-locking in the same cell as Justin Timberlake. Willow cuts him off before congratulating Kris on her win. She points out she's got Serena on Friday and when she wins and moves on to the second round, there will be no more running and she'd be one step closer to her goal of Wembley. Renee interviews Private Party backstage. They say that Chris Jericho learned that they're no joke. Jericho chides them for cheating but offers them a lesson. Brian Keith tells them they'd better respect Chris Jericho. Next up, a quick match for Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia wins by pinfall with a lifting DDT. Post-match, Gates of Agony and Hachicero show up to beat up Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia. Brian Cage is here too, and MJF makes the save but gets overwhelmed. Will Ospreay makes the save as they clear the ring. They back into each other. They have a moment and Friedman leaves, nodding at Garcia. Ospreay helps Daniel up and raises his hand and holds the International Championship up in front of him. It's main event time on Dynamite. Claudio vs. Pac Men's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinals. Bryan Danielson is on commentary for this one, a very good main event match. The lane kicks in, Claudio rolls away from a Phoenix Splash, big uppercut for two, giant swing. PAC reverses, brutalizer applied with Claudio standing. Down to one knee, he reverses into the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Trading pins back and forth, Pac wins by pinfall with a crucifix pin. Post-match, Claudio is upset while Pac stares Danielson down. That's the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.